Thank you for clicking on this video. Welcome back, friends. They sat me down at the oak dining table, the one polished so many times it had no life left in it. My father leaned forward, knuckles pressed against the wood, his voice final like a judge delivering a sentence. Your brother deserves it, he said. The house, the cash, the company. I sat still, hands folded, face neutral, my silence mistaken for acceptance as they thought I'd nod and swallow it like I always had. But I wasn't swallowing this. A month later, my phone buzzed with a one-line text from Mom. Mortgage is due. I stared at it for a long time before typing my reply. Ask your heir. It wasn't always this way, for I once believed in family and in fairness. My brother and I grew up under the same roof, but under different shadows. I was the quiet one, the worker, and he was the golden boy where every smile of his was applauded and every mistake forgiven. When I built the company branch that saved us from collapse, Dad said, "Good job." But when my brother forgot to sign a deal and cost us 6 figures, Dad said, "He'll learn." And Mom stood behind him like a priest behind an altar, blessing every stumble and every sin. I didn't envy him, not at first, because I thought loyalty earned loyalty and that effort mattered. But when they handed him everything, the house, the accounts, the business I'd grown with my hands, and looked at me as if it was natural, like gravity, something in me hardened. And that was the moment I stopped being their child. The betrayal wasn't just inheritance, it was premeditated exile. I found the papers in Dad's study, a restructuring plan where my name wasn't just missing but was erased, my position absorbed and my contributions reduced to footnotes. The company I'd given nights, years, and my health to had already been signed over, and the house. I was still living in it when they transferred the deed with no warning. Just paperwork in a drawer, stamped and notarized. I looked at the documents and felt nothing. No anger, no tears, just the quiet recognition of what I'd always known but never admitted. I was never meant to inherit. I was meant to serve. That night, I poured myself a glass of whiskey, sat by the window, and began to plan, knowing revenge doesn't start with fire but with patience. I didn't slam doors or storm out. I kept working quietly and obediently, smiling at meetings, congratulating my brother on his new responsibilities, and even giving him advice when he asked. He trusted me, he always had, and he thought I was incapable of malice, a belief that became my weapon. Step 1 was withdrawing slowly as I shifted accounts, filtered contacts, and trimmed every thread that tied me to them. My name vanished from contracts, leases, and utilities until I became a ghost, quietly and invisibly. Step 2 was planting seeds as I let my brother's ego grow unchecked, encouraging him to take risks, expand recklessly, and spend lavishly. When he asked if he should lease the new cars, I nodded. And when he bragged about buying the vacation house, I said, "You deserve it." Step 3 was diverting as I guided clients who trusted me gently away, not forcefully, but just enough to make them question his competence. Contracts expired, and I didn't renew them under his leadership. And vendors found better terms elsewhere until bit by bit the foundation weakened. Step 4 was waiting, and when the first cracks appeared, late payments, missed deadlines, nervous whispers among investors, I was ready. The confrontation didn't come with shouting, but with silence. Mom's text was the first sign they were desperate, and Dad called next, his voice once iron, now brittle, as he said, "You need to help your brother, the company, he's struggling." I let the silence hang before answering. "He deserves it, remember." And the line went dead. Weeks later, my brother showed up at my door, sweating, frantic, his suit jacket wrinkled and his arrogance melted into panic as he said, "I need your help." "Hey," he choked on the words. "I can't fix it." I looked at him the way he had looked at me all our lives, like he was smaller, and said, "You took everything, all of it, and you squandered it in a month." His lips trembled as he pleaded, "Please." So I stepped aside and let him see the boxes stacked in my living room. Own venture, my new contracts, my future that had nothing to do with him. For my survival wasn't tied to their empire anymore, but his was. "You wanted the crown," I said. "Wear it." And then I closed the door. They spiraled. The house went up for sale within the year, and the company, once stable and strong, fractured under his mismanagement as my father's legacy turned to ash in my brother's hands. And me? I walked away untouched, building something new, leaner, sharper, and mine, with no shadows and no strings. Sometimes I hear whispers of my brother's debts and my parents' regret. They're longing for the child they dismissed, but regret doesn't interest me. They gave him everything, I gave them nothing, and that balance feels perfect.
Thanks for watching PastQuest. If you enjoyed the journey into history, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing stories from the past. See you in the next quest.